Hello, welcome to Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today I'm going to be doing a follow-up video to my first video on the channel, the one where I talk about what Marvel United Multiverse could be, is so far, concerns, and general excitement about the new project coming out. The reason why is literally since about 30 minutes after I posted that first video, CMON has been putting out essentially update after update of different things that are going to be in Marvel United Multiverse. So let's go ahead and dive into that. So the first thing I want to dive into in this video is this article right here from the CMON website. Literally on January 3rd, which is the same day I posted the My Marvel United video about predictions that I thought are things that could be in the game and stuff like that. I distinctly remember posting that video, having it set for 12 o'clock noon Eastern time to post, and 12:30 I see something on Twitter pop up that is this article right here. So this is an article from one of the designers, What's New in Marvel United Multiverse, posted January 3rd, 2023. It says right here, hello everyone, Andrea, and I'm gonna butcher the name, Cervesio, here, designer of Marvel United X-Men, and I'm proud to say Marvel United Multiverse. Today we are covering the much of what's new in the new core box of the game, apart from, of course, new heroes and villains to play. We'll cover three things: equipment cards, solo mode, a few characters making a comeback. When we approach designing the second season of Marvel United, the main question in our heads was, what is the game still missing, and what are our players asking for that could make the game better? So these are the three different things, two of which I believe I may have mentioned in the previous video. I do have my notebook right here that I'm going to be looking at. So the first thing they go to talk about in this very vocal request is the concept of equipment cards. These are going to be cards that replace, I believe it's going to be the various wild cards in the main in your deck of Marvel United. They talk in here about Captain America throwing his shield, which I specifically said that in my video. Spider-Man using his web shooter, Thor flying with Mjolnir. We tried to represent these through special powers in the previous season, but it's a huge challenge to represent all the iconic special weapons, equipment, and gear in 3 or 4 special cards, while still waiting to also show the hero's true nature and powers. With a lot of brainstorming, they came up with the concept of equipment cards. So, like it says right here, they're going to work like the training cards that were introduced in Marvel United X-Men First Class. And when you get further into it, I believe, like I said, it's going to replace the wild cards. So again, here are two examples of cards that are going to be in the game: Captain Carter's shield and the Hellfire chain. So basically what this means is any character, and they even say on here, as you might imagine, we also had to make sure the solution would have worked retroactively for the full United line. This also provides us useful, very useful, in order to even the scales a bit between heroes from all seasons. So they're specifically calling out in this one that Captain Carter has her shield, Cosmic Ghost Rider has the Hellfire chain, and they have their own special abilities. Basically talking about adding in equipment cards for various characters. I'm kind of trying to skim and rewind, so I apologize if I'm pausing in the middle of saying something. But adding in equipment cards that would retroactively work with Season 1 and 2. I don't know if that means that we're going to get Captain Carter's shield. I imagine what is possibly going to happen. Let me actually go ahead and read this so I can make sure I got my thoughts in order. As an example, Captain Carter will start the game with her signature shield that she can throw and attack adjacent locations or use to ignore 1 damage dealt to a hero in her location. Cosmic Ghost Rider can use his Hellfire chain to attack enemies in his location and use his Hell cycle to fast travel to an adjacent location. And that's just 2 of the many examples. This increases the feeling of playing a unique hero with not only their powers, but also their signature gear. But as our smarter readers might have been thinking already, this idea brought some serious balancing issues with it. The extra power and flexibility provided by equipment would make games a lot easier when playing without challenges. The best way to make sure the new equipment was properly balanced was to play the game in hard challenge mode, so removing the double wild from the hero's deck when using equipment cards proved to be the perfect way to preserve game balance. As you might imagine, we also had to make sure that the solution would work. Okay, I already read that part. So basically, you're going to remove the double wild. Ghost Rider already has his. It says on here he's going to have 2 different cards. So yes, possibility of like deck building in the game, and whether or not how they're going to introduce this for other characters. We can see silhouetted here that some of the other characters also have, at least the ones in the core box, are going to have their own equipment. And I'm sure there's going to be some kind of a pack of some sort for Original United and X-Men United that will have equipment. So there's that. So the next thing we talked about was another comment we heard quite often was that players would have liked a way to play in solo mode with a single hero instead of having a team of 3 heroes. That probably is one of my not biggest gripes, but I haven't gone into solo mode yet because of having to mix cards and all that kind of stuff with the different characters you're playing as. But it made a lot of sense thematically. Of course, the solo mode for the first 2 seasons was designed in order to preserve the cooperative experience of the multiplayer game, and we were satisfied with it. But players were clearly asking for a different experience in solo mode. Ruggerfred, I apologize again that I'm butchering names. Basically recreated the solo mode to make it to where you're actually playing as one character alone. Again, I didn't really play in solo mode. I know there's a lot of people, especially because this game came out during the pandemic, that did probably play in solo mode. I just didn't because of time. As much as I love the game and have everything for it, I have way less playthroughs of the game than I would ever want to. I do plan in the next year to play this game a lot more, either on the channel or in private. But let's see. But the designer here said that the solo mode is one of his personal favorite ways to play Marvel United, but has led to other mechanics you'll see in Season 3 that I am not at liberty to discuss in the article yet. And then finally, the other thing they talked about in here was basically the build of the box. So one of the things that they talked about was the Loki figure is the heroic version of Loki. That wasn't much of a surprise. We knew about that in the trailer. We saw it in the trailer. And my guess was that it was just regular heroic Loki. Some people, for some reason, on the Facebook group kept on saying it was Sylvie. I didn't see that. I honestly thought it was the male Loki with the heroic version that everyone was asking for in the first season, especially when the second season came out. So I'm glad that he's in there. Loud and clear from players that they wanted to possibly play a heroic version of Loki, and we heard this multiverse core set indeed comes with an incredible set of heroes, villains, and one special anti-hero. So Cosmic Ghost Rider is the only anti-hero, it looks like, and he is the one that they suggest playing first. Much like I think Red Skull is the introductory character in the first game. Try to stop him while trying to punish the bad guys that he has decided are beyond redemption. So that's kind of an interesting mechanic right there too. Kind of giving you an idea of how he plays. Basically, he's going around. It looks like he's probably going to go around taking out thugs. And there will probably be a mechanic in there that you have to stop him before all thugs are gone on the board. So you basically want to make sure that all the thugs are gone. Ow. You want to make sure that you're getting all the thugs, keeping them on the board while they're on. That's my guess right now. Guess about this game. Thugs are going to be what Cosmic Ghost Rider is going to be going after. So that was the article that basically proved that they're going to be doing some kind of retroactive deck or something to add into Marvel United for Marvel United 1 and 2 to kind of help people with the fact that Cap doesn't have a shield, Thor isn't holding Mjolnir, Spider-Man doesn't have specific cards for web shooters and stuff like that. So that was the first thing that came out for Marvel United this week. And then something happened the next day. I'm not sure what occurred, but there was a image that came out. I didn't put anything out on it, especially because I was at work at the time when I saw it. They put out this image here, and CMON later put it out officially because the other one said 2022, this one says 2023 on it. But they put out the artwork for the cover of the game. I definitely like the cover of the game, box color, and with the circle instead of the square. This is definitely building off of the X-Men version of the box, more so than the Season 1 box. All the Season 1 had that offset square for everything on the front cover that everything was coming out of. X-Men had the circle that you see here. So it was... so I like the box cover. I like the X-Men design for some reason a little bit more than I like it, probably because of the darker color, more so than I like the Season 1 one. And there's that teal banner on the side. But this gives us a look at characters we did not have in the game before, or not in the game before. A couple of characters that we didn't realize were in the game. We knew about Loki. We knew about Mighty Thor. Below that, we knew about Ghost Rider, the female Black Panther, Captain Carter. From another image, we knew about Ironheart and the Spider-Man 2099, the different Spider-Man 2099 that we know of already. And we knew from the first trailer about Immortus in the background. What we didn't know was Maestro, I believe that's his name, the Future Hulk version that's in the background, and God Emperor Doom in the basically ominously being up there. I'm assuming going to be the quote-unquote main villain from this expansion, which I'm excited about. It's going to be a different Doom than is in the Fantastic Four box. And I like it. Hopefully he's going to be a little bit beefier, have some different mechanics in there. But they are going with very similar to the X-Men box. It looks like it's going to be, with the one anti-hero, 4 villains, and 6 dedicated heroes, with one of the villains being an anti-hero, so giving you 7 heroes. Total with between 10 figures, you're getting 7 heroes and 4 villains to fight against, which is pretty awesome. A lot of replayability there. Can't wait to see what the various mechanics are going to be for those characters. I'm really digging that box. So that came out on the 4th. Then there was a few days later, or like, it wasn't the next week because that would be this week, but a few days later, they put out another Who's That Pokemon style image that was just Ironheart, which they definitely stopped after they did that, maybe because they were already planning to, or because there was no point in doing it since the full box art was out for it. So we basically knew who everybody was in the game. But that was that. Then a few days later, I think it was yesterday. Actually, I'm filming this on January 10th. So this came out on January 9th. That Marvel United Multiverse is going to be hitting Kickstarter on January 18th, which is this was probably going to go up on the 11th. So it's going to be 1 week from today, from when I'm posting this video on January 11th. It's going to be 1 week away on Kickstarter. There's going to be a link all over the place to sign up for notifications when it launches through CMON's website, through the Kickstarter and everything. So I would definitely encourage, if you're going to get the game, go ahead and do that. Traditionally, I usually don't actually do my pledge until like within the week before it ends. So like 4 or 5 days before it ends. So I'm usually just refreshing the page for updates myself, but you do you. But there is that. So it's coming out on January 18th. So there was that one. So that was all the big news as far as Marvel United Multiverse. Then we come to today. I was out myself driving around. Went to IKEA today. because I'm planning on getting rid of that big giant mess over there and reorganizing this entire room to look better for, one, for storage, but to look better for the channel and everything. Just changing stuff around so you don't see the big giant ugly brown curtain back there, and I can actually close the doors that are closed so it doesn't reflect this light. Neither here nor there. But this article, boop, came out today, January 10th. Yesterday for when this video actually publishes. Marvel United Spider-Geddon set to swing into retail. I didn't understand the retail part before. I'm pretty sure. Yep, exactly right. So, Spider-Geddon. When we did the first video on Marvel United, and it's right here in... Where are we at? These are my notes. Right here, I called it Return to Spider-Verse. And I wrote on here that it was going to be multiple spiders and named a few. I'm going to be very truthful. I filmed that video twice. And I kept the second one. And I'm actually having a hard time. I didn't make myself the time today to go back and rewatch the video. To see what I actually said in the video, but somewhere I definitely said in the Return to Spider-Verse that we would have Silk in that box. I guessed Superior Spider-Man because I thought it would be cool to have him in there. I guessed Villain Morlun, which was from the original Spider-Verse and also some other stuff back in the 2000s and 2010s and whatnot. And multiple other spider characters. Spider-Geddon was, and this is a little bit after I stopped reading comics, which I did soon after my son was born. So it's about 5, 6 years since I've actually been able to read through comics and whatnot. Cut them out because of cost, and here I am with board games. But according to Wikipedia, Spider-Geddon was a 2018 comic book limited series and crossover storyline published by Marvel Comics, featuring multiple alternate versions of Spider-Man that had appeared in various media in his supporting cast, and it was a sequel to Spider-Verse. So we had Enter the Spider-Verse as a first expansion in Marvel United Season 1. So now we're doing Spider-Geddon in Season 2. So CMON and Spin Master Games are excited to announce the first retail-only release in their best-selling and long-running Marvel United tabletop game series, Marvel United Spider-Geddon, slated for release in mid-2023. This new core box will contain everything players need to start playing Marvel United and can be seamlessly integrated with any other Marvel United core box's components and expansions. So, if you read down farther into this article, and there's the whole point in here for note for backers, which we'll get into in a minute, this, like they said, is a core box. There are the same amount of figures that are going to be in this box that were in Marvel United, especially after they added Ant-Man and Wasp or Ant-Man and Venom, depending on where you bought it from, into the game to beef up the player count or the model count. Same amount of characters that are in the Marvel United X-Men core and the Marvel United Multiverse core. Marvel United Spider-Geddon will feature a multitude of Spider-Man family heroes and their villains from across the multiverse. Working together, players will try to prevent the Spider villains from completing their master plans, with 2 highly successful crowdfunding campaigns for the Marvel United series and a 3rd campaign, Marvel United Multiverse, launching in early 2023. As well as robust retail sales, Marvel United Spider-Geddon is a great place for new players to come on board while offering series veterans exciting new components to explore. For more information on Marvel United Spider-Geddon, check out the product page here, and I'm pretty sure it still goes to a page not found. So that's not working at the moment. You can follow the Marvel United Multiverse campaign here. So there's a link to I'm assuming, where you go to find the Kickstarter page. This is the important thing for anybody following the Kickstarter. Marvel United, note to backers, Marvel United Spider-Geddon is a direct-to-retail core box and will not be part of the upcoming Marvel United Multiverse Kickstarter. However, it is certainly a part of the multiverse, and you can expect content in this campaign to interact with and complement this box in exciting ways. Also, because Marvel United Spider-Geddon is scheduled to be released at retail around the middle of the year, it will fill in for the usual Advanced Wave 1 done in previous campaigns. This means that Marvel United Multiverse campaign will not feature 2-wave expedited shipping, delivering its full contents to backers approximately 1 year after the campaign ends. With that said, when Season 1 came out, because I think Spin Master wanted to have a retail box or some kind of box for the game to come out during Gen Con time, they offered 2-wave shipping on the first campaign. So somewhere around August, September, you could do 2-wave shipping. You paid a little bit more, and you can get the Marvel United core first, and then later the next year, I think it was somewhere around February, March of 2021, you got the rest of the first Marvel campaign. Ironically, as soon as everyone got all their new stuff, that's when they launched the X-Men campaign, and they did 2-wave shipping again. I believe the core box for that came out in September, October, and then the rest of it came out, depending on where you're from. I got mine in March 2022, March 2022, and a lot of other people, because of shipping issues and whatnot that I'm not going to get into, got there. They didn't get theirs till like close to the end of 2022. It was that long of a wait for some people. So they're not going to be offering 2-wave shipping on Marvel United Multiverse. That doesn't too much bother me. I did 2-wave shipping on the first and second Marvel United, and then didn't get to play the game much, if at all, before the rest of the content came out. So I basically paid for extra shipping to have a box sitting around my house. Again, not because I don't like the game or anything and have time to play. It was more not having time to play it. When Marvel Zombies came out, I decided not to do 2-wave shipping, which stinks because now I'm starting this channel and I see all these people with Marvel Zombies games coming in, and I have no Marvel Zombies game to show off here. That's fine. I can wait till the fall. Not a big deal. Got other things I'm going to be starting up here in a minute. So I was actually debating on not doing 2-wave shipping for Multiverse, and they basically made the decision for me. So we have a Spider-Man box coming out. Now, from the artwork that we can't really see, and I can't really zoom in on because I am failing at life right now, we see a couple things. One, Eric is right in the fact that Morlun, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is the main villain in this game. And we also have the Spot right over here who's in the game, and way down here we've got Anti-Venom. I didn't see him at first, and basically I was like I said, I was out and about while this was coming out earlier, so I'm trying to look on my phone, and I'm looking at all these images. I'm like, where is the Anti-Venom? Like, people on Facebook are talking about Anti-Venom being in the game. I couldn't find him. He was behind the logo. So there's that. Then we have Silk right here. I called that. Way over here we got Superior Spider-Man. Again, I feel like I called that. I think I mentioned Spider-Man Noir. I may or may not have, but I called that. Again, and I apologize if you go back and watch the other video. I didn't mention these people at all. It's because I mentioned them in the first video, and I'm just too lazy to go back and watch what I've watched. Things that I thought, ironically, as I was driving back home from IKEA today, I was thinking about Spider-Man, and I was like, it'd be cool if they managed to get Peter Parker into the game using the black costume, and doing it to where you design him as a more aggressive Spider-Man, and the fact that he probably would have less heroic actions. I don't remember how many he has in the game, but he has less heroic actions and more punching. So that might be what they do here with that, because again, he's wearing the black costume, the evil symbiont. He's not going to be the most heroic. Traditional heroic character, especially from back then. So that's kind of how I feel like they're going to make the deck with that one. Again, predicting it now, but I feel like he's going to have more punches, less heroic actions. But we'll go with that. We've also got Ben Reilly down here, Spider-Punk. I don't know if I mentioned him or not. Ben Reilly, the Spider clone there. and it's our Scarlet Spider down there, and I'm assuming that's the Spider SP//DR or whatever it is. I know, I'm pretty sure she was in the Spider-Verse comic. I read it years ago, can't remember it, and I also saw Spider-Verse one time. I'm pretty sure she's in Spider-Verse as well, but yeah, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 spider heroes with 3 spider villains, so that satisfies the 10 character count for a core game. So yeah, that is what we've got coming out for Marvel United, and they said that that's going to be said mid 2023. I'm going to assume mid 2023 is actually going to be released in mid 2023. I'm going to assume they're more talking about like probably around when Gen Con is around in August, so that way they have something to sell there. I mean, maybe summer. I have no idea, but it'd probably be late summer, early fall, I would assume, based on when the cores were shipped out for the original Marvel United games, the 2-wave shipping and all that stuff. So yeah, that looks like it's gonna be cool. That means so people complaining about variant characters in Marvel United X-Men. We talked about this before, and we're gonna be finishing up here in a second. I just want to kind of bring this up. People talking about variant characters in Marvel United X-Men, with the fact that we have, was it four Wolverines in that game. We have now, I think it counted earlier when I was looking at this, I think we have 14 spiders in the game. We've got, and depending on if you get the Kickstarter version or not, we've got Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Ham in the original Marvel United in the Into the Spider-Verse box. Then I think we have the original or the one we have of Spider-Man 2099, the one that was in the predominantly white suit. So that's 5, and then I think, isn't Spider-Woman in the game? I think she's in the game. Yeah, Marvel. Yeah, Spider-Woman was in she was a stretch goal exclusive. So, so like I was saying, 4 for the main box. The original version that we got of Spider-Man 2099, Jessica Drew, that gives us 6. Then we have 7 in this game alone, this box alone. So that brings us up to 13. Then we've got a new Spider-Man 2099 in the core box for Multiverse, so that's 14. So yeah, unless I'm missing somebody that I can't remember, we have at minimum 14 spiders in Marvel United, or we will have 14 spiders in Marvel United by early 2024. It's more spiders than Wolverines at this point. So, I mean, if it sells, it sells. I know a lot of people are really into the Spider-Verse movies. The first Spider-Verse movie. There's another one coming out later this year. No spoilers, but Spider-Man: No Way Home. A lot of people love that. I remember being in the theater during 2 moments, one moment technically with 2 different characters, where everyone was just cheering their heads off. But yeah, spiders sell. Marvel United Multiverse, a lot of exciting things coming out. We got again God Emperor Doom coming out, new variants. We've got like I said, equipment cards. Very excited for equipment cards. Very excited for the villains in the core box so far of Marvel United. Cannot wait for Galactus to come out. I'm waiting for my prediction to be true of an evil, not evil, but villainous Ghost Rider that the heroes have to fight off. Yeah, waiting to see what else on my list here of things I talked about are going to be true. So yeah, there's that. So one more thing I want to mention, because basically everything I talked about in this video has been pretty much positive. I like everything coming out so far that we know about. Both what we know about the Multiverse core and now this new Spider-Man core, spider-geddon core. Very excited for all this stuff. One thing, slight concern, it's a stupid concern. And I understand it's a stupid concern. We are getting the Spider-Geddon box at retail. They were offered it in the first campaign, and they offered it in the second campaign, and they will probably offer it in the third campaign. If they don't, they're dumb, and it's going to be offered like 2 days before it's over. But in the original 2 campaigns, they offered cardboard locations. And in the second campaign, they offered cardboard villain dashboards and other components. Basically taking all your flimsy cardboard in the other 2 Kickstarters and transferring into non-flimsy cardboard. I am curious. They're going to have to do some weird add-on for that, but I'm curious as what they're going to do to provide people who are going to buy the Spider-Geddon box at retail wherever it's sold at. And I looked online. It's not pre-orders. I don't see pre-orders anywhere yet. I might not be looking in the right places, so who knows. But I didn't see it on Amazon or any other major retailer yet. But yeah, that's my only concern is I am one of those people who did not get the thicker cardboard in the first campaign, and during the second campaign, that's where part of my money went to, was getting the stuff for the first campaign. So yeah, I wonder if they're going to do some kind of a Spider-Geddon add-on, or at the very least, are they going to give us, because it's a core, so we're going to have 8 locations, 3 dashboards, and all the other cardboard. So I just kind of wonder if if they're going to put that in the Multiverse boxes, like the cardboard location boxes, if we're just going to automatically get those. Locations I can kind of see being okay. But the dashboards, that's going to be weird. I don't know of anybody who didn't go all in who also got the cardboard villain dashboards, because you're going to have a bunch of dashboard. If you didn't do that, then you got a bunch of dashboards without the cards. So it kind of seems weird to me that they would do that. But that's my only gripe, concern so far with what we have seen since my last video about this campaign so far. The only gripe is for those of us who got the card relocations, how are we going to get them? Other than that, so far, no grapes. So I'd like to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Rockshire Gaming. If you like the content, you want to see me talk more about Marvel United, like I said, we're going to hopefully do if I can't get my friend Jake to come over and do it, I'll probably do it by myself, but want to do like top characters I think are going to be in the game, any other expansions that I think are going to come out. It'd be kind of interesting to figure out to kind of list out who I don't think is going to be in the game, and or who would be in the game that I would not get the game for. That'd be kind of cool to talk about, because it's just me being a angry old man, I guess. No. But yeah, if you like the content of this channel, you want me to do more Marvel United, like I said, I might be doing hopefully that list. I do want to at least weekly, it's probably gonna be a 3-week campaign, maybe 4, but weekly talk about various expansions coming out for the game. And I know it sounds like I'm going to do a lot of stuff just specifically on Marvel United. I do plan on doing some stuff on other games. Recently, I got a bunch of stuff I got for Christmas that I want to do some unboxings of. Now that my wife's off of night shift, I can finally start to play some games again. So I'm looking forward to that. But I grew up reading Marvel over DC from the time that I was a little kid, reading the tie-in comics for the X-Men animated series until going into adulthood. I think one of the last major storylines I read through as an adult was the newer Secret Wars. I'm gonna say Convergence, but Incursions. When all the incursions were happening, the Marvel Universe was basically destroyed. Everything that happened after that with the Fantastic Four and being gone and whatnot. That era that came after that is probably the last major era of Marvel I read through. So anything from the last 5 years, I know nothing about. I would not be surprised with God Emperor Doom showing up in Marvel United Multiverse if we are not going to get a lot of content specifically around Secret Wars and the different areas of Battle World, like the different storyline realities and everything from that. That'd be interesting to see, but who knows? Stay tuned for the prediction video where I talk about that more, because I realize I'm starting to talk about it now, and I don't want to. I'm going to save it for that. So yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, all the stuff, hit bells, subscribe notifications, like channels, whatever it is. Do all those things, please. And I thank you guys very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.